because this is an injustice that has spanned across governments on an unprecedented scale, and collectively we fail to protect some of the most vulnerable in our country. And so, as well as paying tribute to the courage and determination of the victims, the infected and the affected, some of whom are here in the gallery today, I want to acknowledge to every single person who has suffered that in addition to all of the other failings, politics itself failed you. That failure applies to all parties, including my own. There is only one word: sorry. And by that apology, I acknowledge that this suffering was caused by wrongdoing, delay, and systemic failure across the board, compounded by institutional defensiveness. And as Sir Brian Langstaff makes clear in his report, any apology today must be accompanied by action. And so I welcome the Prime Minister's confirmation that compensation will now be paid. And he should be under no doubt whatsoever that we will work with him to get that done swiftly. Because make no mistake, the victims in this scandal have suffered unspeakably. Thousands of people have died. They continue to die every week. Lives completely shattered, evidence willfully destroyed, victims marginalised, people watching their loved ones die, children used as objects of research. On and on it goes. The pain barely conceivable. And so, as well as an apology, I also want to make clear we commit that we will shine a harsh light upon the lessons that must be learned to make sure nothing like this
might be in breach of international
again. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you pass through the doors of a hospital, it is a moment of profound vulnerability. You entrust your life into the hands of perfect strangers. We go to hospital for care. And that is what many of the people affected find so hard to accept, the betrayal of that trust by people and institutions that were meant to protect them. People like Mark Stewart, my constituent, who was given Factor VIII in the 1980s as part of a clinical trial, as was his father, as was his brother. All three subsequently contracted hepatitis C. But only Mark remains with us today. And then over the decades, as Mark and so many like him searched for truth and justice, the British state ignored them. The truth, as Sir Brian says today, was hidden from them for decades. And that is why this is one of the gravest injustices this country has seen. And yet we have to be honest. This scandal is not unique. And the institutional defensiveness identified by Sir Brian is a pattern of behaviour that we must address. Because, Mr. Speaker, while Mark may never get his brother, his father, or his health back, for all the families affected, we must restore the sense that this is a country that can rectify injustice, particularly when carried out by institutes of the state. That is our job today, this week, and beyond. Frankly, it is the very least that we owe. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.